Amidst the digital frenzy of modern communications, whispers suggest a surprising comeback: Morse code. Rumors hint at the U.S. military's contemplation of utilizing this timeless form of communication on amateur radio bands. Join the intrigue surrounding this unexpected revival and explore Morse code, why Morse code might reclaim its place in our high-tech world. Welcome to Ham Basics. I'm your host, Greg, KD9ZRO. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We are going to talk about ham radio, obviously. We've got a little bit of an insider tip that the U.S. military is wanting to be able to open up communications between military and civilians utilizing Morse code. But today we are here at the lovely Mississinawa Reservoir. I'm sitting on over off the main lake. And the reason I'm here today is because I got word that an elder and disabled friend misses his fishing days and enjoys the pictures of our fishing trips. So I thought today we'd do a fishing trip and record it for him so he can actually experience it along with us. So to put this in the best words possible, yeah, I got a little help. In the tapestry of life, there's a vibrant thread woven by the unwavering passion of my elder and disabled friend, Steve. A fervent love for fishing that dances in his heart despite the challenges he faces. While the waters now seem out of reach for him today, I become his hands and feet, casting lines and chasing dreams on his behalf, breathing life into his enduring love for the gentle rhythm of the waves. Just real quick, we'll go over the setup. Today, I'm using my Shakespeare Tiger. It is a medium action, 7-foot long pole, and I've got it heavy rigged for a bottom line setup, and I'm just using, where we at here? Just using night crawlers and Canadian worms. Not the night crawlers are harvested out of my own front yard. The Canadian night crawlers are obviously bots. And then Steve likes bluegill, so we're running a float rig, just enough weight to drop it. And again, this one is got a standard locally harvested night crawler on it. We'll have to play the depth finding game to find those bluegill for him, but we do have us a nice little bait bucket that's got the night crawlers and the Canadian crawlers in it. One thing that I do want to warn people is I'm not a sport fisherman, although I am a legal fisherman, which, just for the record, I am a legal fisherman, but I'm not a sport fisherman. I fish for my table, and today, most of what we catch, especially the bluegill, because I hear that's one of his favorite fish to eat, will be given to Steve. Hopefully he can enjoy the thrills of fishing through watching me fish. But as far as the bluegill go, in my state there's no size or possession limit, so let's keep that in mind. Usually, if it's too small for eating but not too big for bait, it gets used as bait. Hopefully today we'll catch a lot of eating fish for it. I'm also obviously fishing for catfish because that's one of my favorites. But if I find that Steve likes the catfish as well, this is his fishing trip. So, one other thing, I'm going to ask that if you don't agree, you just politely observe and let it slide. But as a Christian myself, and knowing that Steve is as well because he invited us to the church we attend, I would feel remiss if I didn't ask for some help and guidance here. So if you would, if you agree, please pray with us. If you don't agree, please politely ignore this portion of the video. So, Lord, I just want to ask you, all things are possible through you. We know this as Christians and believers. Just want to ask that you allow us to have a fun and profitable, plentiful fishing trip in Steve's stead. Today we're fishing for Steve because he's no longer able to, but he still enjoys it. So I ask that you give us a plentiful and enjoyable fishing trip that he can enjoy watching this video later and get the same thrill out of the hunt and the catch that I intend to get when you provide those fish and those catches that we're seeking on Steve's behalf. Amen. Again, if you don't agree, thank you for being patient and polite. If you do agree, I thank you for supporting this prayer. So we're going to get these lines cast out in the water, and then we'll get back to talking about ham radio. I may not be on camera much. I want to put the lines on the camera for Steve's benefit, but you will hear me talking in the background while I do my ham radio presentation. And yes, I will be working from notes, as you can tell by the fact that I'm wearing my glasses. So enjoy, and Steve, I hope you enjoy the fishing trip. We're doing this for you. Make sure I get this thing, get these lines on the camera here. May have to down. There we go. Okay. We got the bottom line on camera. I don't know if we're going to get the bobber line on camera, but we'll just see what happens. First, we drop the bottom line. And by the way, this cove was only about 20 yards wide, if that. We're going to start out about 2 foot deep, seeking those bluegill, and see what happens. Okay. So now, for my ham radio followers, let's get back to why you're here. In the ever-evolving realm of communication, where technology reigns supreme and innovation is constant, there exists an intriguing rumor that seems to harken back to a bygone era, the potential return of Morse code. Whispers within the amateur radio community suggest that the U.S. military is entertaining the idea of opening civil communications on amateur radio bands, utilizing the venerable Morse code, also known as CW, or continuous wave. While these murmurs have yet to be officially confirmed, the mere contemplation of such a move has ignited a fervor of excitement and speculation among enthusiasts and skeptics alike. Let's check the lines real quick. Morse code, with its simplistic yet elegant method of transmitting text information through sequences of signals, has long held a special place in the annals of communication history. Its legacy is intertwined with tales of daring rescues, vital wartime communications, and the enduring spirit of human ingenuity. But what prompts the resurgence of interest in Morse code in an age dominated by digital communication networks and lightning-fast data transmission? Give me just a moment here to get this bottom line set now that it's had time to sink. Okay. One prevailing theory suggests that the military's consideration of Morse code for civil communication stems from a desire to bolster communication resilience in an increasingly interconnected yet vulnerable world. In an era where cyber threats and electronic warfare loom large, diversifying communication methods becomes not just a strategic choice, but a necessity. Morse code is, with its simplicity, reliability, and ability to operate under adverse conditions, emerges as a compelling candidate for inclusion in the military's communication toolkit. Looks like the bobber line's hung up. We'll get to that in just a moment. For the passionate community of amateur radio operators, affectionately known as hams, the prospect of the military embracing Morse code is met with both excitement and validation. For decades, these dedicated individuals have championed Morse code as a timeless form of communication, boasting unparalleled efficiency and effectiveness, particularly in situations where other methods may falter. Now, that's not to say that there's no opposition to this idea as well. A lot of people have been able to get their amateur license because the Morse code requirement was dropped. And so obviously they're skeptical and oppose the idea. To continue on, to see their beloved Morse code potentially elevated to a new level of significance by the military as a testament to their unwavering dedication and expertise. However, as with any technology revival, there are voices of skepticism. Critics argue that Morse code, while steeped in history and tradition, may lack the bandwidth and speed required to meet the demands of modern communication needs. In an age where instant connectivity and high-speed data transmission are the norm, Morse code may appear antiquated and impractical to some. They advocate for alternative technologies such as voice communication or digital modes as more suitable options for contemporary communication requirements. Yet amidst the debate and speculation, the allure of Morse code endures. Its timeless appeal lies not just in its utility, but in the stories it tells and the connection it fosters. From the daring exploits of amateur radio operators relaying messages across vast distances to the quiet moments of solace found in the rhythmic tapping of a Morse code key, the significance of Morse code transcends mere functionality. It sounded like a big old bass flopping out there on the other side. I might have to try to put that bobber line over there. Whether the rumors of the U.S. military's interest in Morse code materialize into tangible action remains to be seen. But regardless of the outcome, the decision surrounding this potential resurgence serves as a poignant reminder of the enduring power of communication and the timeless allure of a mode of communication as iconic as Morse code. In a world that seems to hurtle forward at breakneck speed, perhaps this wisdom in embracing the past to ensure perhaps there is wisdom in embracing the past to ensure a more resilient future. Let's see. Let's get that out of here for now. Okay, so again, it's not confirmed that Morse code is going to become a requirement again. Not even confirmed that there's a possibility that Morse code is going to become a requirement. But there is rumor that the military is not only considering the ability to open up lines of communication through on the civil bands of amateur radio through Morse code, but just think of the implications of being able to communicate with the civilians if the need arises for better communications or more communication systems. That's about all I have on amateur radio. From here, it's just going to be fishing for Steve. So if you're here for the amateur radio portion, KD9ZRO saying 7-3 and clear until next time. If you enjoy the fishing, then stick around as we fish for Steve. No. One thing I do want to say, some of you that watch the channel have saw it. Steve does not know, but he's about to find out. I am a cigarette smoker. I try not to do it on camera, but as long as this camera is going to be on, it's bound to happen. Um, I do smoke cigarettes. I try not to do it on camera, and I typically avoid doing it at church and around people that don't smoke, or that it's not healthy for them to be around smoke. So, Steve, just something you didn't know about me. If it offends you, I apologize. Looks like a slow start, but maybe we'll get something happening. Like I said, I think that was a big old bass or something that flopped while I was doing the amateur radio portion of this video. But I really hope that we get enough action that you can experience the joy and thrill of fishing through watching this video, knowing that I'm doing this video as a stand-in for you. Looks like I might actually have to adjust the depth of that bobber. It's not actually floating. It's just sitting in one place. And there is a current. So it should be floating some. May have something thinking about taking the bottom line. I've caught bluegill on the bottom. Typically it's going to be a catfish or a turtle or a crayfish. Occasionally the common carp. Which, by the way, if you stuck around, the common carp has been declared a naturalized species, so it's no longer on the I can't remember what the word is, but it's no longer a feral species. It's considered a naturalized species, so it's no longer legal to just remove them from the waterways. You need to either plan on utilizing them as a food source or return them to the water. It's also legal in our state to use bluegill as bait. So if we catch something small enough to use as bait, it is legal. And I don't like the fact that bobber line is not giving me any action at all. I like it when it floats a little bit. I don't like it when it floats back to me, but I like it when it's giving me enough action that I know it's not on the bottom. I think this is deeper than 2 foot, but I'm not getting any action out of it, so I'm going to shallow it up a little bit. Go about 18 inches, see what happens. And by the way, the pole I'm using for the bobber line is this year's model of the Walmart Ozark Trail Wayfarer, which is a 5.5 foot medium action rod. And I've got 10-pound line, test line on it. Got 20-pound test on the big Shakespeare Tiger catfish pole. Both of them are running a J hook. I believe it's an Eagle Claw carbide, because they've got that carbide blue color to them. There's a hit on the bottom. Let's see if he takes it. We do have a little bit of a wind. I hope it's not interfering with the audio too much. Excuse me. I'm feeling that's a catfish messing with the bottom line because they like to hit it and then wait. We still got the line on the ball. I can't see it. We still got the line on. Oh, don't have the tip of the rod out there. There we go. Now we got the tip of the rod out there so you can see that action. Got a tree directly in front of us on the other side. Let's see if I can get this bluegill line a little closer to it and see what happens. Oh, looky there. Caught what we call an Indiana stick bass. I can get this sucker out of the water. Yep, there we go. At least it's not in the way anymore. I'll get out of these weeds and try putting this line out there where the fish might be. Looks like I got a lull in the wind. Maybe it'll go. Most of the way. Well, maybe I don't have enough weight on it to get it there, but it went most of the way. And we're getting a little floating action out of it now. I hope that kitty cat out there didn't do me dirty. It's entirely possible it could have been a crawfish. We're in a nice little slack water cove right off the main lake. Got a little bit of a current, but not a lot. Obviously not enough to make that bobber irritate me by moving too much. But there is some top water action. I can see it I can see it breaking the waves. Unfortunately, I don't have a topwater lure. And I'm not real good at lure fishing anyway. So, hopefully they'll find the bait. You probably give it about an hour or so. We are having a picnic with the family. So I'll probably give it about an hour or so and see what happens. Looks like the bobber's going upstream. Which is always interesting when it goes upstream, but you never see the take. Actually kind of surprised I got any action on that bottom rig, just simply because of the time of day. It is about 2 o'clock, I believe. Oh no, it's almost 3:30, so still kind of surprised me I got any action at all on that line because of the time of day. Which also surprises me that I'm not getting a whole lot of action on the top water line. Or the bobber line, whichever way you want to say it. Bobber's moving awful fast now. There we go. Ah, crap. Yep. Gotta fight a tangle out. This ought to be interesting. Come on now. Get a hold of the line. There we go. Now it's tied up in the dang limb again. There we go. Didn't get whatever it was. Hopefully there's still bait on there. And there it is. Good deal. Good deal. Whoa. That's never a good sign. Okay. I think I aggravated something out there when I decided to check this one. By the way, this is sort of a Carolina rig. Those two heavy weights are on a slip. The worst part about it. 7-foot pole on the bottom in shallow water. It's kind of hard to get it to set. Looks like it already got a hit though. There we go. There's some good action. There's some good action. Let's see if we can get him. Where'd you go? Bobber back out in front of me. It's hiding behind one of these weeds now. There we go. Got a little pressure on that line to see it hit now. Okay, we're still recording. Hope we don't get skunked today, but that happens. There we go. Now I got it where it's going to stay in front of me for a minute. I think I hit it when I set the other pole down. If you can hear the boats in the background or not. We're only about 100 yards off the main lake. Some of you, if you're still watching, may notice that I don't just reel that bottom line in. Some people do, I don't. I make sure I jerk it off the bottom before I reel it in. Sometimes it turns out to be a bad idea and I shouldn't have done it, but for the most part, it gets that line off the bottom so it doesn't snag on the way in. I also run tight line. A lot of guys like to run a slack line. I run a tight line. It's just the way I've always fished on the bottom. I've always ran a tight line on the bottom. And really, in windy conditions like we've got today, it's kind of best because you don't have the wind pulling your line, which is pulling your pole, and your pole's not bouncing freely in the wind because your line's kind of holding it in place. Makes it easier to detect an actual bite as compared to wind movement. Which we're not seeing a whole lot of action. It's kind of surprising. It is a partly cloudy day. It gets overcast once in a while. But I can't reach the water to see how warm the water is without taking a chance of tumbling in. It's about almost 2 foot below where I'm sitting. I only run a little tiny bluegill hook, or I call it a minnow hook. It's so small when I'm running a bobber, but I had to re-rig it to be able to use it on this trip, and I just used the first hook I grabbed. But I normally would use a hook that even the bait fish can get in their mouth. Even though a bait fish would be handy, I'm fishing for eating fish today. There we go. We got one on the bobber. We got one on the bobber. There's our first catch, Steve. He's on there. Where he's at, I don't know, but he's on there. He was on there. Somebody's calling me. Dang it. Dang it, just to get to it. I know I put it in here, but there it is. Oh my gosh. Oh, gotta call her back. Yeah.
I was just letting you know food's ready.
Alright. Thought I was fighting one and phone started ringing. Alright, I'll be up there in a little bit. Alright. Yeah. That was the wife. Hot dogs and hamburgers are done. So I may have to get up that way shortly. But for now, I don't like where this bobber landed. I want to put it back where it was getting hit. Because it went down and it ran. I better rethread this worm. Yep, they about took him off. I better rethread him. Try that again. Maybe next time I hit on it, they'll get hooked. There we go. Pretty close to where I've been trying to put it too. That was me. I kicked it. That was a strange miss though. That bobber went under and ran, and I pulled, and it didn't come up. I pulled again, and it didn't come up. That was a strange miss. I usually set my bottom rig up to where the bait can float just off the bottom. Just a couple inches off the bottom. Because even though catfish are a bottom feeder, they're not a bottom mouth feeder. So kind of hard for them to sometimes to get a bait that's actually sitting directly on the bottom. There's definitely action out there though. There's even minnows jumping, which tells me there's larger fish out there nearby. Now I'm getting a little action on the bottom pole, but it's not pulling the line. There's definitely more action than the slight breeze that's going right at this moment. Okay, so spoiler alert, we kind of got skunked. So for those of you that aren't really in it for the fishing video, there's really nothing to see. We got skunked. There didn't seem to be anything hitting in that little cove we were in except for turtles. Kept drawing back a clean hook, sometimes a straightened clean hook, without ever seeing a bite. Crawfish don't straighten hooks, so can only assume it was turtles. Almost had some luck on the lake itself, but some inconsiderate swimmers kind of ran us off. So we got skunked, but I'm leaving the footage in anyway for Steve's benefit. He doesn't get to fish, At least he gets to enjoy the experience. Although we got skunked, he gets to enjoy the experience through this video. So if you're not in it for the fishing video, or you're expecting the monster catch, this is your opportunity to bail out because we got skunked. Otherwise, if you just want the enjoyment of a fishing video, maybe you're in the same position Steve is, can't get out to go fishing, the rest of this video is for you. Oh, we got here. What the world is going on? Oh, it's turned the wrong. Didn't realize it was turned the wrong way. I hope you can see the end of that pole, because I can't. Well, I can't see the end of the pole on the camera, so hopefully you can. But now that you can see, if all else fails and we get skunked before I go to lunch, at least it's a relaxing video. Keep moving the bobber around, see if it does anything. Trying to find the fish. I just found the two right in front of me. They're jumping right out in front of me here. Sort of. They're surfacing. Now let's just put this thing right there. Bring it back to right there. Yeah. Too deep. That's our problem. Too deep. Go back to where we were. If I can catch it. Go back to where we were. Let's see what happens. I know there's fish in that area. I saw them. Looks like we're getting a little action on the bottom line. You know how it works, though. As soon as you're not paying attention to it. It'd find me a nice little rod holder somebody left behind when I got down here. which is always handy to have when you're fishing on the bottom. Come on, take it. Almost been down here an hour. We'll give it a little bit longer. Then we'll go get lunch. And if we get skunked on video, maybe I'll try a different spot and hopefully get you some pictures that I can add to this. There we go. I don't think we're going to get skunked though. Something's playing with it. Won't just hit it and run. It kind of scares me that it's a crawfish, so let's pull it away from it a little bit. The fish will come back. It's a crawfish. We just saved our bait. Well, the fish right there didn't last long. Slackline it just a little bit. There we go. Now, come on, something take some bait. I got something playing with it now. They're just like whining the snot out of it. See if whatever it is got back. Where is he at? I felt him there when I picked it up. This might do us some good. got a kayaker in the cove. That generally gets them stirred up. Yep. Let's see you do that again. One more time. Got some action, but you wouldn't hit it when we was paying attention as usual. It's about normal, ain't it? They won't hit them when you're paying attention. They want to hit them when you're not paying attention. Which makes sense. I mean, if I was a fish, I wouldn't want the idiot human on the other end of that line paying attention either. Got some action on the bower. I'm paying attention. Come on, lines. Liven up. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Do that some more. Do that some more. phone's pulling pressure on it though. Guess we'll just see what happens. Put this bobber back where it got its action. If that moved way out of that spot. Sounds like my poles need tightened up. Seems like he's fishing this hole like a little bit of a slack line. But I don't intend to give him enough slack that they can clean the hook and me not notice. We've been out here for a while. Give my phone a few minutes to cool down and then we're going to go get lunch. run. Take it and run. I'm gonna try something. This bobber lining doesn't seem to be working. I'm getting absolutely no interest on that bobber line. Let's take it. I know too deep. See what happens if we let it float on the bottom. See, I know that's going to be too deep. That's the plan. I want it to be too deep. Because I want to have the bobber as an indicator. And I'll get that bait out there. There we go. Got that bobber floating out there like it's a slip bobber now. It takes a strike, it can stand up. Got underneath. Something got on the line. I don't think it was actually a fish. Water's so deep than I thought it was. My bobber ain't set deep enough. That's the method I'm trying to use anyway. Set too deep for floating, but not deep enough for the method I'm trying to use. Go a little deeper. There we go. I think I saw the bait go out there. It did. Okay. Didn't really wind up where I wanted to put it either. Not hard to get it out there. Put that much line like flying off of it. This spot's not being very productive. Feels awful light. Definitely light. That explains why quick. We'll try that again in a minute. Before he robs us this time. This guy here, this one's starting to irritate me. Can't get it out there where the fish are. I hit it.